We both have hats on.
We both have black hats on.
We both have black hats on.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
How we doing out there? Who's excited for Halloween?
Halloween? It's Thanksgiving. I think some people would have today off, possibly teachers, for example, because of the holiday weekend.
Oh.
So if you have Friday off today, say Yahoo in the comments.
We should have lots of people in if no one's at work.
Yeah, or maybe they're sleeping.
Yeah, who's this? Crystal?
Hey, Crystal. She says, hey, good morning.
Good morning, Crystal. Are you working today? Is it a long weekend?
Yes.
It's a long weekend?
It is.
Okay.
I got all excited. Yes, we are going to talk about, this morning we're going to talk about some tips about Thanksgiving, or we're just going to have a little conversation about Thanksgiving and digestion and how to, we just have some tips of our own that we want to share of what we do during big family holidays to still stay on track. We're not like, we still, I don't know how I'm trying to say it true.
I don't know either. How can I help you?
Like restricting.
Help me help you.
I wanted to mention about restriction. We still indulge sometimes, like at Thanksgiving, we're not going to sit there and
overindulge.
Eat it. But at the same time, we don't expect you to sit there and eat your salad while everyone else is having mashed potatoes and turkey and stuffing. And neither do we, right? So this is our real life tips that we do on the holidays to help stay on track, but still enjoy a little feast.
Ooh, a little feast.
A little feast.
It was a feast.
That was hard to get out this morning.
Sound like it.
I don't know. The words weren't coming, but
morning, Sue.
Morning, Sue. Last night was not my best sleep, though. I think a lot of times because Drew and I specialize in improving sleep and digestion, I think people think we're experts or always have a good night's sleep. And it's just not true. Sometimes we have crappy sleeps too. Last night that happened.
It's true. But we're back at it and we're going to make it happen.
Making it happen. This is my dance. Woo!
That's
my Friday morning.
Special. Do you want to read Sue's question or do you want to dance?
I'll read Sue's question. Sue says, half my grandkids are in school. Riley and Aubrey are off, Dorothy. Oh, so it must... Oh, I dragged it on twice. See, not awake yet.
Dorothy is snoozing.
Yeah, I think Olds is off today, I think. I'm not totally in that world anymore. It's kind of weird. I just know from past that we usually had the Friday off before the Thanksgiving to make it a 4-day weekend, which was really nice.
I'm just jumping on to Facebook here so I can share this to other places.
Other pages?
This is my morning magnesium. Have you got your morning magnesium in?
I chugged mine. It's gone.
How did that chugging work out for you?
I did not sip it as recommended. I was just like, oh dear, I'm late. So I just sucked it back quickly. But ideally with our TriMag, the intention is to have a glass of it and to sip away at it. It's highly absorbable, but A, we want you to enjoy it, but B, it will help with absorption rate if we sip it slowly. As opposed to chugging it like I did. Not the best idea.
Same thing with smoothies. I don't know where it comes from or where the mindset is to chug smoothies. But I think people eat fast and
totally.
they eat fast and they chug smoothies and they it's not mindfulness.
Well, and the reason I'm like, oh yeah, totally, is because I used to do that, and I think it came from my career as a teacher. You're always going. You're always on your feet. You're always running around. You're never sitting down. And so you just you have 15 minutes to have your lunch. So you're just shoveling it in and getting it in. And same with smoothies. Just suck them back. And, it's interesting because a lot of people say, oh, I can't do smoothies because then after my stomach hurts. Or I'm bloated after. It's like, well, how fast did you drink your smoothie? We say that
Right.
all the time. Because if you drink your smoothies, if you're experiencing discomfort after you drink a smoothie, most likely you've drank it too fast and your body hasn't had a chance to deal with or to organize all the nutrients that's going in your body. So you have to give it time, drink it slowly, so it has time to digest all the nutrients.
Yeah, it's funny. People, because we have the Complete Truth protein, of course, and that's our protein supplement that we design. And sometimes people will write in, they'll be like, oh, I can't have your protein. It gives me a stomach ache. They're like, well, there's all your smoothies you create give you stomach ache? Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's your protein. And they're like, well, how fast do you drink it? Oh, just like in a couple minutes, it's gone. I'm like, oh, well, if you drink it slowly, you probably won't get a stomach ache from it.
And when we say drink it slowly, we recommend 15 minutes to 20 minutes, right, to drink your smoothie. Most people would drink it in like 5 minutes, probably, or less, maybe even less than 5 minutes. And I know they taste delicious, and it's really hard not to drink them fast. But think of it as a complete meal. Think of a smoothie as a complete meal. We have all the nutrients in a drink when you're using Complete Truth protein. You have all the nutrients you need in a drink from a meal. So it's like a little mini meal. If you
Well, it's not a mini meal; it's a full meal.
Well, it's a full meal, but it's in a drink.
So if you take like this bowl of cereal, for example, that's a well balanced, has all the macronutrients. Or if you take a plate of food, that's how I like to consider it. Like if you take a plate of food that has all the macronutrients, we say macronutrients. You have your healthy fats, your complex carbs, protein, and antioxidants. So if you have those 4 categories on your plate, that's the exact same as a serving of Complete Truth protein. And that's why we designed it, because we wanted to get you all the macronutrients in one meal in a convenient and efficient way. Because a lot of times people weren't eating times people don't eat the food that they need to eat. So if you take that food and you eat all of it in less than 5 minutes, and then your body your stomach is like trying to digest that food, your body is like, what are you doing to me? So that's why you get a stomach ache. It'd be the same thing if you swallowed all your food as quickly as possible. And then you'd be like, oh, like gas, bloating, and digestion. Like, what happened? Like, it was the food. Something was wrong with the food. There's nothing wrong with the food. You swallowed it. So if you eat it a bit slowly, it'll change your whole feeling around food. And I think mindfulness and tasting flavors, it's a whole thing.
Oh my gosh, I used to be the fastest eater you would ever see, probably. Well, fast eaters. And I never really enjoyed food. Like, I never really took the time to appreciate the food I was eating and to really enjoy the tastes and the flavors of food. And I always had digestion problems. So it was interesting for me to take some time to slow down. And we live in such a go, fast-paced world that sometimes we don't feel like we have the time to slow down and eat. But it's really, really important to make an effort and take the time to build a strong digestion tract system.
Sure.
I always get those ones mixed up.
Okay, Leo says good morning.
Good morning, Leo.
Good morning, guys. And then we got John in here. John says pouring one as we speak. Awesome, John.
A shot of magnesium.
And then he says, sip it, you say. Yeah, I've been chugging it. So maybe John, you're pretty open and honest. Why do you chug it?
Chugging the magnesium.
Yeah, just curious.
Yeah.
I mean,
because it's faster.
Yeah. Like if you say, for example, like this is how much we drink every morning. Like we put a half a glass or 3/4 of a glass and slowly sip it. Like if you were to put magnesium in a water bottle and sip it throughout the day, I think you'd get that absorption rate throughout the day, so you'd almost get more benefits. But I mean, everyone's at this at a different level. Everyone needs to get it in, however is best for them. Like I think just about Dorothy can't even eat while I'm talking. So distracting. You're out of control. I don't even know what I was saying. I think you'd get a better absorption rate if you took it slowly throughout the day. It's the same thing if you have your morning smoothie or afternoon smoothie and you drank it slowly. That you get those nutrients a chance to digest, and ease into your body. We actually, I got a quick story. There's this big like muscle type of guy. We went over to this shop here where we're selling magnesium here in Redondo. Well, he's in Hermosa, which is just one city over, and we were giving them samples, and the guy didn't really know what to do. Like it was a bit challenging. We're trying to explain and do demos, but everyone's like excited to try the product, and there's like groups over here and groups over there. So we didn't get a chance to do like a full demo. It wasn't like a professional setting, which is fine. Like we don't need like a professional board meeting to do what we do. But anyways, we were like kind of talking about it and trying to tell them about it. And this big guy, like they poured these red cup glasses like full of it, and he grabbed it and like literally chugged it. He was like, go, 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 go. And I was like, just looking at him like, why would you do that? I think I said that to him. I was like, why did you just do that? Like you don't know what the thing is that you just chugged. Like why
you don't even taste it, maybe. Yeah.
I just thought it was so bizarre. But then you think like a lot of times people are just like, well, let me get this over with, or I don't have time. Like so, I'd imagine like in that situation, maybe that individual was just used to chugging stuff because that's what they do.
That's what we do. Go, go, go. Get it done as fast as you can.
John said,
no reason, just go, 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 just trying to get it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most people are like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would probably encourage, like, for me, like, I like the taste of it. Like, I like the taste of it. I like to enjoy it. And for me, I actually think about magnesium healing my body. And I think it's
a little deep, guys. Thanks for sharing, Drew.
Did I dig your deepest we got on Instagram? Dorothy does not appreciate my deepness.
No, I didn't say I didn't appreciate it.
I do. Like when I think about like magnesium, or when I think about the same thing with food. When I think about like eating food, I'm like, this food is like life. Like food gives us life. It really does. If we didn't have food, we wouldn't be alive. So I think that like when I eat, especially if you grow your own food, like if you grow your own food, it's like a whole different level. It's like I planted this, I harvested, I weeded it, we cleaned it, you cook it, you put it on your plate, and it's like this food is nourishing our body. And when I think about like magnesium, for example, I'm like actually consciously think like this magnesium is healing my body, and I think it almost takes it to the next level. Mm. At any rate,
yes.
Dorothy doesn't want to talk about that.
No, I have a list. I do, guys.
We got Shauna in here. What's up, Shauna? Yes. Shauna, how do you take your magnesium every morning? What's up? Why don't you start with your list? Dorothy's gone mute until we're talking about what she wants to talk about.
No, it's not true. I kind of have a little bit of a foggy brain this morning, that's all. So it's not, the wheels are turning slowly. They're not oiled up yet. Wait till my magnesium hits my brain. Then I'll be good.
Then you're in trouble. Wait till the magnesium 3 and 8 sets in.
The magnesium 3 and 8. Well, yeah. Anyway, we did want to get to Thanksgiving and talk about some tips around Thanksgiving. Maybe you can let us know in the comments if you're excited about Thanksgiving. And what your plans are. Drew and I will. I told you the wheels need to be a little oiled up here. So.
It's funny is because in most cases it takes me some time to get into morning in life, and Dorothy's like bing, boing, 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 boing. She's like Tigger. So now you're
the table's up. It's just because I didn't sleep well last night, which is always confirms to me how important sleep is. I couldn't imagine waking up every day feeling this way. Foggy and just like groggy. Like usually we wake up and we've had a full night's sleep, and we have nutritionized our bodies. So we wake up and we feel energy. So being a little foggy, groggy is not
alive and vibrant. I think it's challenging. A lot of times people, because of like lifestyle habits, which is why we talk about it. So if like you need caffeine to wake you up in the morning, I think there's a reason you need that caffeine is because you're not waking up like alive and vibrant because of your lifestyle choices without it. I know it's crazy, coffee drinkers. But it's not just coffee. It's like tons of people have energy drinks. And I think, I don't know if it's this area or U.S., but this area is like littered with energy drink cans. They are everywhere. They're like on the street corner. They're in garbage cans. They're in every store you could find. They've purchased them. So it's like, obviously, so many people are drinking them that they need to be everywhere to buy them. But they're like I said, they're on the corner, like on the curb, or they're in the garbage cans. They're everywhere. So, but I think that's masking underneath. Like, what is the reason you need that? Because we don't, in a natural state, we don't need that extra energy.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, we have Jen in here.
Hey, Jen. Good morning.
And
Shauna as well says she has her magnesium in her kombucha.
Ooh, nice.
That's a good one.
Awesome.
Good way to get them in.
Jen, how do you drink your kombucha? Or
magnesium.
Magnesium.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into some Thanksgiving tips.
All right, where do you want to start?
I think the whole smoothie talk in the beginning here of the show was a nice little segue into one of our tips of Thanksgiving, which was eat in the morning or eat before you have your dinner. A lot of times we feel, I'm gonna use some air quotes.
Oh boy.
A lot of times we feel that we need to save up our hunger for the big meal, and we don't eat, or maybe we're busy in the kitchen, so we don't eat. And then the big meal, it's time for turkey dinner or a big Thanksgiving meal, and we are so starving that we literally stuff our faces and overeat. So one of the best ways to prevent overeating is to have a meal before you go. So a smoothie is a great way to do that. And if you're traveling, for example, to family's house or a friend's house, or you can take a smoothie with you, sip it on your commute or your drive there. But very important to still eat breakfast, very important to get your healthy snacks in, and make sure that you eat before you go. Because when you arrive to your destination, or if you're hosting, there's always appetizers, right? The food before the food. And if you haven't eaten breakfast, if you haven't been eating throughout the day, you get there, you're going to fill up on appetizers, which usually are, deep fried or dips and things that aren't really all that great for your digestion and in your health. So a lot of times we fill up on those appetizers, and we overeat at the meal. So
you just gave away all my tips in like 4 sentences.
Good.
Thanks for nothing.
Goodbye, Drew. I have a whole list. That was one on the list.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just keep rolling. Drew is mute. Do you want me to keep going?
Sure.
Okay, I'll keep going. Another tip that is a super easy tip, actually, is to prepare your stomach for hard to digest foods. So if we think about food combining, a Thanksgiving meal is probably the worst way to combine food for digestion, because we have our meat and our carbs together, and then we have sugars can't be with
meat protein.
With meat protein. So then we have sugars in meat. Anyway, so you need to prepare your stomach for those foods, for those hard to digest foods. So kombucha, we double up on those kinds of days. We'll have our kombucha in the morning, and then we'll have it again before the meal, right before. So kombucha is a probiotic, so it's gonna help break down and digest those foods that are hard to digest. Another thing that we don't talk about too often is digestive enzymes. Those also, digestive enzyme pill or capsule, will also help you or help your body when you're having foods that are not so normal or not so easy to digest. It helps break down the carbs and the proteins. And so those are really helpful as well. So you would take those before a meal that's harder to digest.
Taking a breath?
You're not jumping in.
Would you like me to jump in?
I left a little pause so he could jump in, and he didn't jump in.
So is it my turn?
Yeah.
Do I get to talk now?
Yeah.
For the Dorothy show?
No, actually, I'm going to keep going. If you're not a kombucha drinker, you can also buy a probiotic pill. We always suggest going to the source of nature, I suppose, with your own SCOBY and making your own kombucha. That's going to be the most effective probiotic. But then, of course, you can find some kombucha that's already made, right? You can buy it. Just be careful of the quality. There is some really nice, like, local companies that do a really good job. Sometimes at the grocery store, just be careful. Read your ingredients that you're getting a good quality one. And then, of course, there's capsules and pills of probiotic. But again, you have to be careful of the quality, the company. Make sure that it has high standards. And the probiotic pills and digestive enzymes. Actually, a lot of you know that I distribute essential oils for Young Living, but you can also get really great high quality of both of those probiotic and digestive enzymes from Young Living as well. So if you're interested, we can talk more about that privately, about getting your hands on some of those. The end.
Is that a break?
Yeah.
Would you like me to jump in, or do you want to keep talking?
Nope. Go ahead, Drew.
We saw Jen had a comment here. Thanks to the hearts that are coming in, guys.
Ooh, yay.
And Jen says she drinks her magnesium from the spoon.
You are hardcore, Jen.
Do you like the taste or not like the taste? I feel like the people that don't like the taste, they just like get rid of it real quick. Mom does that, doesn't she? Like a shot.
My mom?
Yeah.
My mom's pretty hardcore, so she probably would.
Sue, what you got?
Love the questions. I don't digest protein well, so I drink kombucha. Oh, why? Kombucha and take enzymes. I know if I don't, the protein sits in like a rock. Yeah. So true.
What kind of protein are you talking about, Sue? Like meat protein? We don't eat a ton of meat protein, as most of you know. So I think that
to digest.
It is hard to digest. And I think it's hard to digest for everyone. Most people just don't know it or realize it. So, and it's funny that when we have someone that try to have like plant-based or try to have less meat, they feel better. Mm-hmm. That's one of the first things they'll tell you. It's the lifestyle that we always talk about. Like, it's really challenging to change your lifestyle. And changing your lifestyle means, like, when you have conversations around dinner with your family and you talk about, instead of saying what's for dinner, oh, we're having steak. What's for dinner? Oh, we're having fish. Like, it's funny how we mentioned that main staple is the meat, and then everything else is kind of around it. Doesn't really matter. But if you eat a plant-based diet and you don't have that meat, the conversation changes, and then the mindset changes. So that's the challenging part. The challenging part isn't to have less meat. The challenging part is to change your lifestyle around that. And it comes with like conversations, what you're buying at the grocery store, how to prepare the food. So it's a big switch. It's a big change. So, but we know for sure, people always tell us, oh, I've tried your meal plan for a week. I really felt great with all the greens, with the salads, with some meals without having a piece of meat in there. And then, of course, they go back to their regular lifestyle, which is fine. It's just funny because we know that they're like, oh, I feel great. And then you go back because that's your lifestyle.
Yeah, and people say, oh, I have so much energy. I'm sleeping better with the plant-based meals. And we're not saying never have meat. We're just saying be aware of how you digest it and how you feel.
Sue says any protein. So any protein like plant protein, like anything that has protein in it, because everything has protein in it. Like, so if you look at quinoa, for example, it's a complete protein. Would that be hard to digest? Or like hemp seeds, complete protein. Like a meat is a complete protein. So
Jen says as well, I don't mind it at all.
Magnesium.
I don't mind it at all, actually. I find I crave it in the morning. That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
That's funny. I do too. Do you?
No, I don't crave it. But I don't have a problem with the taste. Like, I enjoy the taste. Mm-hmm. But no, I wouldn't say I crave it.
I do think about it. And sometimes in the afternoon, I'm like, oh, I should have some magnesium. But I'm like, I already had some magnesium. I don't need it again. Mm-hmm. So if we're sore, if we go on a long run, we've been running with the Runners Club here.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about that because
I was talking.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. My gosh. I'm almost scared to do these shows. Dorothy's been doing more and more of her own shows by herself, and like she forgets that we do this show together.
Okay, go. He just said he didn't want me to talk so much, so he did. You just said you didn't want to talk so much, so I'll take over.
When did I say that?
At the beginning.
I did not say that.
Talk. Run along now and talk.
She wants me to talk so she can talk. Hurry up and get
Hurry
that
up
over
and talk so I can have my turn. We need a talking stick.
We do need to talk. You would not follow it. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys about my Toastmasters. I wanted to tell you at the beginning, but Dorothy just jumped right into everything. So should I tell them about it now?
Very quickly.
Pipe down.
Pipe down, Dave says.
Sue.
Yeah, Sue's on my side.
Sue
Team
says,
Dorothy. Sue. Woo!
I'm not even pulling your comment on Sue. We're friends, time out. Jen says, I don't mind it.
Oh, we read that one from Jen.
I was saying that we were doing more running and longer distances, and we've been running hills. Like last night was a tough one. So we've been.
Can I tell them what I said to you? No, maybe that's too private. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh! Can we get a mute button? I need a mute button.
Okay, go.
Where's it? Where were we? There's a mute button. We were somewhere. There was like a mute. Oh, I was like in this podcasting group on like designing your podcast group with Seth Godin, and the speaker can actually mute other people.
Oh,
I want that
for me.
At any rate, what I was saying is that we take magnesium in the morning, and then if we know we're going to go on a long run, we'll take it again. I feel like I have to take it before noon. So I don't take it afternoon, but I'll take it again at 10 or 11 because we get up super early. We get up at 4. So we take it first thing in the morning around 4, and then I'll take it again before noon. So it's a spread out. It's a good stretch, but that kind of gives me an extra boost to heal for those tough runs. Yeah,
and I was just going to say I'm we joined a running group, which is pretty cool. I used to be scared of joining a group. We see running groups all over here, and we were just talking last night about all the opportunities that we have right in front of us when we're here in LA. It's awesome. But Drew was always encouraging me to join a running group, but I was too scared to be like the last one, the slowest one, or not as fast as everyone, and everyone's going to know each other, and I'm going to be the newbie, and da-da-da. But it's been the best experience, this group. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And I always thought that I was a runner, like, I don't want to run with a group. I do it for myself. It's my alone time. I don't want to have to talk to anybody, which is weird because I'm a talker. But I always felt like it was my time to channel and be with myself. But, oh my gosh, the runs have been so enjoyable with other people. And the encouragement you get from others and the little sense of community and togetherness. I don't know if we just picked the best group out there to join, but it's pretty amazing. And Drew and I always talk about finding that community or finding that environment where you will have people around you who are supportive, encouraging, and on a similar journey as you. And this just reaffirms why that is so important to your success, being a part of this group. They're awesome. Awesome people. We're meeting all kinds of just great people. And you're out there running together. And last night it was in the dark. And one guy who was in the running group, obviously, he had a light, a little flashlight kind of runners. Oh, it was just his phone?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, it was a flashlight on his phone. I didn't know that. But as we would cross the road as a group, he would stand there and flash the light, so the cars knew there was a group of us crossing the road. And I just said to Drew, when we were biking home after our run, I just said that just was something so small, but that made such a huge difference and was so nice. Just those small little things mean so much. And there's the end.
No, it's true, but I think everyone wants to be part of a community, whether they know it or not. A lot of times people say oh, I like to be alone, or I'd rather do this by myself. And I'm like that too. Like I'm a giant introvert. I went to, like you probably don't even know what was going through my mind. I went to a beach tennis workout for the first time. And it's like a little mini court, and you play tennis with like tennis balls. They're not tennis balls. They're like softer tennis balls. And then you have these little rackets. And I went there for the first time, and like I think it's pretty cool. Like we're doing things like stretching our comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I show up, and no one knew who I was. It was my first time, and I was like standing there, and I'm like, I don't like new crowds. I don't know if anyone does, but I think for other people, like extroverts, would probably just be like, hey guys, here I am. And I'm like, not that type of person. So I kind of showed up, and I was like, people that kind of talking, that kind of had this odd conversation that made me feel a bit uncomfortable. And I was just like, this is so weird. I was like, maybe I made a mistake. I was like, I should leave. I was thinking, maybe if I just left, no one would really notice. And I was like, I was thinking about leaving, like almost left. And I was like, I'll just hang out for a bit. The coach should be here soon. And I ended up staying. And I had a blast. We played beach tennis for an hour and a half. I'm super sore today. But it was so much fun.
How was the swing? I didn't go. Wow, it was like weird swing.
No.
Show us how it was.
You swing like a tennis racket.
Not how I do it. Anyway, that's besides the point.
Anyways, what I'm saying was it was really cool. Like when we got into games and we got into playing, and we were like high fiving, and I was diving around in the sand, and we were laughing. It was fun, and I think that then you get a chance to meet people and connect, and you laugh, and I don't know. I just think that that's a type of community where you can go and have fun and meet new people. Mm-hmm. And in many cases, like especially for myself, like, oh, I'm good. I'd rather sit at home by myself and work on the computer, which in most cases I would. But
that's true.
I'm pretty
drag them places.
I'm pretty happy like doing my own thing and not being involved. But even like Dorothy's saying about this running group, like it's really cool. Like strangers would be like, "Hey guys, are you new?" And like,
haven't seen you before.
Like
and
it happens.
They'll introduce themselves.
Yeah, and it happens like so often. Like the beach tennis little community wasn't that warm and welcoming, but we kind of warmed up together. But like this running group is crazy. Like they're so happy and polite and like want you to be there. Like earlier yesterday, they're like, "Hey guys, you coming tonight?"
Yeah.
It was like, oh, like wow, like that's a community that like you hope to build as a business or entrepreneur, and as a member of the community, you want to be part of that. Mm-hmm. So I think if we could find those little pockets that make our lives better, we would be happier individuals.
Mm-hmm. Andrew, you said that because you're an introvert, you feel that it's harder to like join new groups or be in those kind of situations. But I would consider myself an extrovert, but I still find it difficult. Like I think that maybe some people don't, but I still find it challenging. Like it's scary to go to a place that you've never been and be with a group of people that know each other, and that you're the only one. It's tough.
I wonder if that you're kind of funny though. Like I don't know if you're like an introvert or extrovert. Like is there something in the middle?
I'm in the middle. What would you call that?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you guys introverts or extroverts out there?
Let us know what you think.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to like force Dorothy to do things, and she's really good at getting me to do things too. But I'm like, this running group will be very good for you because I don't love to run. Like I go and run every 2 or 3 days because I like to get outside. I like being in shape. I don't love the running aspect of it. But Dorothy, she has feels different about running, and she really enjoys running. And I was like, this running group will be great for you. So I have to make her go do it. But then when she does it, she's like flourishes. And I think that there's and I'm not I don't feel like I'm flourishing. I feel like I'm happy to be there and like this is enjoyable. But I'm like, I could not be here.
Yeah.
But I think for you, like it's great for you.
It is very nice. But my resistance of joining the running group and doing, Drew says he has to push me to do things, comes from confidence, right? The lack of confidence, or the lack of, how do you say it? Like that belief in yourself, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, no, I don't want to go. I'll be like the slowest runner, and I'll be at the back, and but that wasn't the case at all.
What's up, Carrie?
So anyway, we really got off topic here.
John says he's an introvert.
Introvert?
I think it's easy to be an introvert. Takes effort to be an extrovert. If you're an introvert.
I don't know. Shauna says, I am both, probably like Dorothy. I like people, but I like my own time too. I can easily self-motivate. Yes. Shauna's very good at that. Like you, with your art and with your workouts, like you say you're going to do it and you get it done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the next tip?
Well, I'm going to show you my list. And would you like to do this one, Drew? Or would you like to skip to this one?
Skip the drinks. We can do skip the drinks. Carrie says, "What's up? What's up, Carrie?"
Hey, Carrie.
Carrie says, "I'm the same. I could never do the live videos." Well, you know, it's funny. We were the same way, Carrie. Like when
it was scary.
It was tough. Like we were pretty fortunate though. Like we took progressive steps. I used to do a weekly video newsletter.
I forgot about that.
And because I knew that, like I knew even when I was starting in business, and I didn't know a ton about business, I knew that I had to stand out and be different. And that came from baseball and playing. And I knew that like you always have to be different to stand out. Otherwise, they won't pick you or choose you. So I wanted to do something different. So I did some videos. And it was like on an old school, I know some people still have them, like an old school like digital camera. And I set that up on like some books. Because I didn't have a tripod. Didn't even know what a tripod was. I think someone else was like, why don't you use a tripod? I had this big old, then I like had this big old clanky tripod.
Oh, I forgot about that tripod. It took like 15 minutes
to set
it up and get it all level.
It wasn't like, it didn't like self-level, and like, it was horrible. It was a horrible experience.
But we used it because that's what we had.
Mm-hmm. So, but that's how video started. That was almost 10 years ago. So people are like, oh, you guys are great with videos. Like, you should see the first ones.
You should see our first ones. They're horrible.
They're horrible. Hey, Vanda.
Hey, Vanda.
And then we got Rootstock, Alberta. What's up, guys? But anyways, Carrie, so Carrie, then we had our monthly membership group, which we're very grateful for. We still have that. So we started doing videos just for them.
For them.
Recorded videos. So then we felt comfortable, and we released some recorded videos publicly. And then we started doing live videos for our membership group. And it's like, they're like family. They're like a small group. They're very supportive. We love each other dearly. We talk to them every day. This is our online membership group where we do fitness, nutrition, meal planning together. So once we did live videos for them, then we did some live videos publicly. So, but when I got Dorothy to do videos, she would go blank. I was like, hey, Dorothy, do this video with me. And it was like a fight. She's like, I don't want to do videos. I don't need to do videos.
Don't make me do this.
Yeah. And then we turn the camera on and she'd be like, and I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Where are you? I'm like, stiff and like mute. I don't know what to say. And we used to write everything out. Remember?
Well, you did.
Like a script.
I wrote, when I started doing my radio show, I wrote 6 to 7 pages a week. I would read everything. It was horrible.
You'd read every word.
It was my producer's idea, which was a horrible idea. But when I stopped, the show got much better when I stopped reading. But it took me hours to write everything out, so I would read it. But then Dorothy, she would get her script when she started doing videos. She's like, I need a script. I need to write all this out. And I'm like, no, you don't. Just talk. You're a talker.
That reminds me... Oh man, that took me back down memory lane when you said about your radio show, because Drew would lock himself in his office for hours writing the radio show. And of course, because he is one of those people that is more motivated on a timeline or at a deadline, last minute. So it'd be like last minute, and he'd like lock himself in the office. I wouldn't be able to talk to him or anything because he'd have to like get this radio show written.
Man, that
was crazy.
That was crazy. Just the prep for that. We've been on air for 9 years now, which is crazy. Like, it's so bizarre. Like, it feels like a flash.
Yeah.
And then when we talk about radio and stuff, like we're doing this new podcast, it's kind of crazy. Like, all that experience I did It was like I'm going back because I have a producer that does EMB, but now but I started producing it myself after I stepped away from the radio a bit. But now I'm doing all the edits and production for the new show. Maybe I'll pass it on, but I have those flashes too. Like I remember like teaching myself how to edit and like trying to put music in, and I didn't know how. Like no one taught me how to do it. It was such a struggle. But here we are, Carrie. You can do it, Carrie. We believe in you. You just gotta do it. And you know what the thing is? Like when we started, there wasn't live, so you couldn't like be okay with. You couldn't be okay with like making mistakes or like it was completely different because we thought everything had to be professional, like TV. Like everyone was trying to be like television, and even in the last 5 years, social media has changed so much. It's not perfect television. It's like I'm walking down the street. Here's a live video of me walking, or like it's us sitting here having breakfast with you.
Yeah,
it's not like you can't eat in front of the camera. What would people think? Right. So I think it's such an it's much easier now to get into this kind of stuff than it was before.
Definitely.
John says he's out of here. See you, John.
Bye, John.
Thanks for joining us. Charlene's in here. Morning, Charlene.
Hey, Charlene.
And then Vanda's over here on Instagram.
Hey, Vanda.
Morning, Vanda. Okay, you can skip the drinks if you want.
You do that one.
Okay.
I'll do the next one.
Okay, so quick tip.
You're just better at that one than I am.
Is alcoholic beverages. I think when we get together in gatherings, we feel like we have to drink. I did personally. Like I felt like every time I got together with people that were drinking, I had to drink. You know what's really easy here in LA when we meet new people? When people are like, hey, you want to go out for drinks or have some beers? Like, I often say, well, we don't drink so much. Because we don't. Like, it's not really part of our lifestyle anymore. We used to drink and party like everybody else, but we go to bed pretty early, get up at 4 a.m. Like, it's rare. Like, we'll have a beer or two or a drink or two once in a while, every couple weeks or once a month, like whatever that is, if we feel like that might be enjoyable. But so for here, when we meet new people, like, hey, you want to go get some drinks? Like, oh, well, we don't drink very often, but we'll go and have an appetizer with you.
Yeah. Or
something. So there's no expectation for us to drink around them. So that's a bit easier. But when you go to those events, you don't have to drink. Maybe you feel like you should, or maybe you feel like you want to. But I think that's important to point out because those are added calories. They're not great for digestion purposes. And also, they're going to keep you staying up later. And then when you get a little loose, get a little tipsy, of course, you're going to care less about the choices you make. You're going to have extra desserts, and you're going to stay up later. And one of our tips would be to stay in a bit later. I got to tell you, there's a guy, a larger man, right across from our apartment, and he was like almost naked. He was standing there in these like little boxers, and he just opened his blinds and like looked around and closed them.
I did not catch that.
Oh my gosh!
At the hotel?
Yeah, at the hotel. So it was a bit disturbing.
Our front windows.
Put some clothes on.
Face the hotel. I don't know. I say you're at the beach.
Nobody needs to see. Nobody needs to see that. Oh my gosh! You'd laugh if you saw him.
Okay, I do. Just killing himself.
Oh my gosh! I think sometimes people don't think other people can see them.
Or maybe they don't care.
Maybe they. Well, he opened the blind, like
and then he's like,
"Oh!" And then looking around, then he's like, "Oh, I'm wearing no clothes," and then closed the blind.
Oh my!
Wow, that was fun.
That was entertaining for you. Still laughing.
So at any rate, I think that if you could at least be conscious of the alcoholic beverages that you're drinking during Thanksgiving, it would be beneficial to you. Be beneficial to your health and be beneficial to the weekend. And because you have a couple drinks on Thursday night, maybe Friday night, you're like, oh, I'm staying up late. I'm gonna have a lot of drinks. And then it's Saturday morning or Sunday afternoon, you have a few more drinks. Like, they all add up. Mm-hmm. They're all empty calories. And very few people are going to be working out or eating salads this weekend. We just know. It's just how it goes. So if you could try to limit those drinks each day, then you'd be better off in the long run.
Mm-hmm. It also affects your mood, right? And I noticed that in myself as well. If we have a few drinks, then the next day is kind of bluesy, you know?
The booze blues.
Emotionally. I don't like feeling that way, you know?
And the sleep.
Because
you stay up, you're drinking a little bit later, you're putting a substance into your body, and your body's like, what are you doing? And then you wake up, and you're like groggy and like foggy most of the day, and you don't feel great. Hey, like, who wants to have a hangover? I think that's one of the reasons, like, Dorothy and I decided, like, alcohol's, like, not a positive influence in our lives. Like, we like to feel awake, alive, and alert. And then, like, when you go through, like, hangovers every weekend, it's not enjoyable. So I don't know why you do that for so long, or why we feel like in college that's the thing. But we just didn't want that to be a part of our lifestyle, so it's not. Mm-hmm. What's the next tip?
Then we're getting to the meal now. We talked about a lot of pre-meal stuff, but you know, a lot of times there's so much food usually at Thanksgiving, and we just like stack our plate with a mountain. And then, of course, when it's on your plate, you feel like you have to eat it. It's just one of those things from childhood, probably eat what's on your plate. So what we always encourage is to just take a little bit of everything, and then you can always go back later if you're still hungry. And we always encourage you to start with the veggies and fill your plate with a bunch of veggies. There's usually salads and all kinds of different veggies to choose from. And your veggie portion should be half of your plate, your veggies. So fill up the plate on your veggies first, and then go for a smaller amount of your carbs, like your mashed potatoes and your dressing and your turkey after that. And if you even can, you know, sometimes the huge big plates are brought out. If you could use a smaller plate, that also is helpful as well. Using a smaller plate instead of a big one. And then if you're still hungry and you want to go back, you can go back. Food's not going anywhere.
Yeah, most people are going to be eating all day.
Yeah, and I've never been to a Thanksgiving dinner where they've run out of food. So you don't have to worry about that.
That's a very good point.
So just be aware. I think sometimes we're not even aware. We're just like stocking up or piling up our plate, and we're not even aware of what we're putting on it. We go sit down, we're like, oh, okay.
Or you're like, tighten up your belt, and you're like, instead of loosening it up. No, I meant like tighten it up and like roll up your sleeves, and you got this big amount of food, and you're like, okay, I can do this. And it's like mentally challenging to be like, I got to get through all this food. So, but I love those tips. Like, if you had a smaller plate, like maybe it looks funny. Like, who knows? Like, why wouldn't you grab a smaller plate? But if you grab like a side plate, you're like, I'm going to fill this plate up. It's mentally satisfying. Mm-hmm. So instead of having like a big giant plate and you only fill it up halfway, most people aren't going to do that.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know if I've seen anyone do that. When you get a big plate and there's like 12 different dishes, you're like, I got to have some of everything. And then you fill up your plate so much and you're like, oh, I got to come back for that. I do that. I'm like, oh, I got to get a little bit of everything. And my plate is like this. And I'm like, I don't have room for that. I got to come back for that. And I act like if I don't get it now, I can never get it again. When it's going to be sitting there all day.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny. Mm-hmm. Vanda says, I miss your laugh.
Aw.
I miss you too, Vanda. You're welcome to come back inside whenever you're ready, Vanda. But it's always the little tips, right? Mm. It's always the little things that make the big difference. Like the salad, like no one thinks about putting greens like half of their plate, you know. Like, but it doesn't have to be like, oh, like I'd imagine some people are picturing like, I'm not gonna have a half a plate of green beans,
like, right?
That's not fun. Like, I'm not gonna, like, where am I gonna put my potatoes and gravy? But if you put a little thing of salad, and if you put like, hopefully there's some like broccoli, or like we used to have like roasted veggies, for example.
Brussels sprouts are a big Thanksgiving one.
Oh, Brussels sprouts. So if you've put like a few different things, like go there first. Like go to the greens first, put the salad on there, put your Brussels sprouts or green beans or whatever they are. That's gonna fill up your plate. And then from there, whatever's left, then you go and put the other stuff on, and usually there's not much room left. So then you have to go sit down, and you have to get all the way up, and you have to walk all the way back to the table, which really isn't that bad.
Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult, we know, because like with our families, sometimes it's difficult because you have to hear a comment or a remark here and there.
Yeah.
Like when I remember one time when I was having a smaller plate or smaller portions, I got the comment from a family member like, "Oh, that's all you're going to eat?" Right? And you're like, I can go back. I just said, well, I'll go back for more if I'm so hungry, right? But like, I think when anything is different than the norm, then maybe like it makes them uncomfortable or surprised. I'm not sure why sometimes they feel like they have to say anything. Like, you do your thing, I'll do my thing.
I say manya.
Nanya?
You just manya. It's short for mind your business.
Mind your own business.
You're saying just manya. I got this.
Yeah, but usually, like, I'll just say, well, you know, like, I'll go back if I'm so hungry. Like, anyway.
I think the family pressure is a big thing around holidays.
It is, yeah.
Like, we know what it's like around Christmas. Thanksgiving is no different. It's like we have to do what our family thinks we have to do.
Mm.
And it's like, and it's super challenging because if we want to do our own thing or if our lifestyle is a bit different, we feel like we have to conform because when we were younger, we had to do what our parents say.
Or like sometimes, like, I can remember back to one Thanksgiving where we said no thank you to a dessert and like almost insulted one of our family members. So they're like literally scooping it on our plate. And after we said no thank you, we're like, what is going on? Like, you know, so like, try my dessert, no, try my dessert, no, try this one, no, try that one. And then when you say no thank you, it's like, what?
How dare you?
But so there's definitely some challenging times, but the more that you stay consistent and grounded in what you want, the more that everyone else will get used to it, right? Or become more comfortable with it.
Could you unplug that battery, please?
Yes.
Shauna says that would be my tip too. Use a smaller plate.
Mm-hmm.
Good tip, Shauna. And then she says the other tip is let go of the guilt. Eat the turkey dinner and enjoy. Be a little off track and get back on track the next day.
That's right.
I wonder if I have that show link I can put up here.
Yeah, that's one thing we talk about a lot is letting go of the guilt, because you can hang on to that guilt for so long after. For example, say you overindulge at turkey dinner and then Monday you're still mad at yourself for what happened on Sunday or what you did, and then you're carrying that along around with you for so long, but you're still eating the turkey dinner. It's gone. Let it go and move on. So Drew's gonna look for the radio show. Did we do one together on that?
I don't know. This one says reduce stress, eat out guilt-free, nutrition. I'll grab this one.
Yeah, it's a topic we talk about a lot is guilt, because holding on to that is stressful for our body. So we're actually causing more damage by holding on to it and feeling guilty about it than if we're just like, well, that happened. I ate it. I enjoyed it. I'm happy I did it. But now it's time to move forward.
Yeah. This link here says exploringmindandbody.com/holiday nutrition tips. That's actually around Thanksgiving. Based around. So we've got all kinds of tips and suggestions that you can listen to if you like. So that's exploringmindandbody.com, and then that's the show we talked about earlier that I've been doing for 9 years now. And it's a podcast. It's up on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, so you can check out those shows if you're interested. Then we have a brand new show called Transformations Through Running. It took me a while. Every time I went to say the title, I'd always say Exploring Mind and Body.
Or you wouldn't say the title correctly. Running transformation, or I don't know. But you got it now.
I got it. So at any rate, if you guys are interested in checking out Transformations Through Running, the stories are amazing.
Oh my gosh. So good.
And they're not just for runners.
No.
Like it's inspirational, it's motivation. It's like if they'll tell you a story, it's their transformation story, and you're like, that's how I feel. I'm like, if they can get through that, I can get through anything today.
Well, just like one of the most recent episodes I listened to was of a woman doing her first Ironman, and it was freezing cold. She was near hypothermia, but she was pushing through to finish. Like, there was a high percentage of people that dropped out of that one because it was so cold. Anyway, but I listened to her interview while I was running, actually, and on that day I was having a runner's block, but there I was running along the beach in the sunshine. So I'm thinking of her story, and I'm thinking, well, if she could do an Ironman, which
weather.
Is, if you're not sure, which is a triathlon, so swimming and biking and running, if she can do that in the freezing cold, close to hypothermia, sure, as you know, I'm sure, or I'm positive, I can at least do this 10-kilometer run, like in the sunshine along the beach. Like, yeah. So they're just super motivating stories. And like Drew said, it doesn't have to be for runners. They're just incredible motivational stories. Transformations through running.
Yeah, check it out. So this is just a podcast. But I do have some thoughts about approaching some of my radio stations
dun, dun, dun.
with it. But not yet.
We're
almost on we're gonna do season 1. I'm trying to be very patient with like progressing with it. Like I'm like, just do the interviews because I have all these ideas what to do with it. But right now we're gonna do 10 interviews season 1, and then we'll talk about season 2. We're almost done recording. I think I'm gonna release a new episode today, maybe.
Ooh.
But you have to subscribe. So subscribe to our channel, please. I'm really trying to get on New and Noteworthy. I don't know if I don't know how challenging that is, but I think you need a lot of people. Like even our community and our friends, like we're not like just a community, just a running community. So like I'll ask my friends, like, hey, did you listen to my show yet? No. Like, hey, have you checked out the new podcast yet? Like, no, that's just for runners. I'm not a runner. I'm like, no, it's not just for runners. So I think it's going to be super challenging.
Interview runners. But it's not just for runners.
Yeah, so I think it'd be super challenging to get on New and Noteworthy. But if you do get a chance, subscribe to the channel, leave a review. That will give us some type of hope to make it happen. But what can you do? Try again. We have, I'm not sure what that name is. But thanks for tuning in. So, Vanda says, I can't.
Checked out your new podcast and loved it, Drew. So inspiring.
Oh, thanks so much, Vanda. That's awesome.
And she also said, saying no to turkey and gravy for another year for me. Plus, it's easy to say no to a lot of desserts when you're dairy-free.
Nice, Vanda.
I like it, Vanda.
That's awesome.
That was one of our last tips, was about dessert. And one of our strategies or tips is that we always share a dessert. And we usually bring our own. So I'll make a dessert that's refined sugar free, dairy free, all of the healthy yumminess, and then we'll share it. So then that kind of helps out. That kind of helps you bypass the sugary
overindulging.
Yeah, the sugary filled desserts, and then you have some for others to share. Usually, not a lot of people eat our healthy desserts.
Which is okay, because then we
bring it home. But that's a nice way to tackle dessert.
Every once in a while, we'll go to like a potluck thing, and when Dorothy brings like our part of the potluck.
Yeah, usually I make 2 things: one for Drew to bring and one for me to bring.
I like hope people don't eat hers. I'm like, oh, there's some of that left over after.
Drew like pushes it to the back because he wants to bring it home.
It's funny because it's a mix. Like sometimes it's like gone in minutes, and then other times people are like, oh, it looks a bit too healthy.
Too green.
I don't want to have it. And then there's like a lot left, and I'm like, yes.
But if I bring my guacamole, gone. If I bring my bruschetta, gone. Those are two really popular ones.
So we should stop bringing those.
I should just make them at home. Just for you, Drew.
I'm in with that. I will accept that.
Oh my.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay, before we go, I have to mention two of my favorite essential oils for digestion. I'll do it quick, guys. So, because we are, like we talked about, a turkey dinner puts a lot of stress on our tummy and digestive system. They're two of my favorite essential oils to help relieve tummy discomfort. The first one would be Digest. Now, Digest is a blend oil, and so it's a mixture of different oils, and the smell is very strong. It's not that pleasant smelling on your nose, but I swear it helps so much with gas, bloating, cramps. So you would just put a little drop of Digest, one drop, and then a carrier oil, like coconut oil or fatty vegetable oil like avocado oil, and just rub it on your belly. Oh, it feels so nice. And then another one to help with digestion is peppermint. So peppermint's really nice and cooling, but also can help with the tummy pains. So those are two essential oils that you would not want to be without this Thanksgiving. Peppermint and Digest. I love talking about essential oils. They have helped us improve digestion, sleep, energy levels in so many other ways of our daily life. Concentration, mood, you name it. Hormones, woo! But I love talking about essential oils. So if you want more information about an essential oil or how to get your hands on some, I can help you out with that. Love talking about that.
Shauna says peppermint oil. Not sure what that means, Shauna.
Shauna loves peppermint oil.
Oh.
I think it's her favorite one.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap things up. You good?
I'm good.
Okay, so, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a wonderful long weekend.
Happy Turkey Day!
Happy Turkey Day. So, we...
Did I interrupt you again?
No, I'm good. Have a great weekend, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions for us, if we can help you out in any way, shoot us a message. We're always happy to help.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving. Catch you later.
See you guys.
Bye.